Hey YouTube, this is Teresa, and I'm doing Real Housewives of Atlanta episode 4, the new season. Sonia and Marlo are over at Sheree's house, and she's having brunch, making brunch with them, and they're having French toast and fruit and all of that. And they're talking about BravoCon, and Marlo's complaining about her flight was so late and what have. And they all brought up about how Mama Joyce was talking issue BravoCon about Todd, and how she wished her daughter would get with any kind of man that had a job, any kind of man, didn't matter. And I'm just like, yeah, Mama Joyce really needs to give it a break. I don't know why every time people ask her about her daughter, who she wants for her daughter, why she can't just be like, no comment, or be like, I'm happy for my daughter and her husband, or just say something positive. I don't understand why she keeps having to make it clear that she doesn't like Todd, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Your daughter's married to him. Get over it, Mama Joyce. I'm really sick of you. And then it's like you're embarrassing her, and you're giving people on the show that don't like Candy more reason to talk about Candy and come for Candy about the simple fact of the things that you're doing, because you're being an embarrassment, talking about her and telling her business, and you need to kind of stop. Like, I don't understand why she constantly keeps doing it. And then Marlo basically was saying, Candy, you need to stop talking ish about me. You need to fix your home. And I'm like, Marlo, you need to stop talking, because this situation with her mom have nothing to do with you. So what is your point? You need to stop talking about Candy as well. You're telling her to stop talking about you, but you're consistently bringing her name up, and she's not even talking about you in interviews. You're talking more about Candy than she does about you. So I'm going to need you to Marlo, and worry about yourself, because it's getting kind of annoying. Like, nobody cares. So Sheree starts talking about Martell, and I like him so much. He's such a good guy, and he's great and wonderful. I don't know why people sucking Martell. So we say in New York, sucking, which means you really on Martell, like he's such a great guy. And my whole thing is, when you first get to know someone, everybody is nice to you. They're good to you. You have your rose-colored glasses. Oh my God, he's so nice. He's so this, he's so that. And then later on down the line, people's true characters come out, and then the things that people were telling you and warning you about start to surface. And then you're like, oh my God, I should have listened. That's going to end up happening to Sheree, because she don't learn her lesson. She done got played like 5 million times, a bunch of times, with these different guys that she's recently started talking to, coming on the show, claiming, all these good things about him, then come to find out it's all facade, it's all nonsense. So it's going to happen the same thing again to her. It's going to blow up in her face, and then she's going to look the plum fool that she always looks every single time. Like, she does not learn. And then here goes Marlo co-signing. At first, I didn't think he was a good look, but I started to see, like, he shows up. He's really good to you. So I kind of changed my mind about him. And then this girl, Sonia, started talking about how at BravoCon, how Drew was talking about her, and she had thought her and Drew were fine, so she doesn't know why she was sniting her at BravoCon. That she needs to talk with her, because she doesn't understand what's happening. Like, she thought that they were on good terms. She doesn't understand what's going on. So next thing is Drew, her hubby, and they went to this hiking place over there, and they're just like doing, like, those course hiking things where you go up, and it's like kind of like you're at like a mountain climbing, but it's for fun or what have. So she's there doing it where her husband, she almost falls or what have. He's like, be careful. And then when they finish, and she's like telling him that she got to take the kids and bring them back here so they can have some fun doing this, because they love doing it. And then she talks about how he feels about her going from being 100% mom, stay-at-home mom, to just doing her career now with music. And he's saying that, that he doesn't have a problem with it, because of the simple fact that that's how it's supposed to be anyway. She was supposed to go back to doing music, like doing her career, like, instead of doing, acting. Now she's going to be doing music. So he's good with it. So she basically talks about the fact that her single, has 300,000 streams. And her husband's like, didn't think that was like, that's not really good. She said, well, why? So not too good. He said, because it should be more. But then Drew kind of said, you really didn't push it out or market it like that. So it's doing kind of good So next thing, Kenya is having issue with her products. It's not the product is not being filled all the way to the capacity with the mock-up that she told them to do. So she was calling the person, letting them know that they need to fix it or what have. Then she starts to speak to someone about that she basically calls Mayetta, and then they have a talk about her doing this Magic City event, and she was asked to take part in it. So Kenya was asking if she could give her a choreographed dance numbers to do at her performance so that she can, show out at the event, so she could look good, and all of that. So that's what they're talking about. And I said, okay, check her out, trying to be cute, learning a little dance here and there. So next thing is Candy. She's having a meeting with Don Juan and about all her projects, and she had a whole list of them. She has a lot. She's a very busy woman. She has a lot of things to get done. And then Moyetta comes to see Candy as well. So they started talking about BravoCon, and Don Juan says anyone who has a decent job, because they're basically talking about Mama Joyce and how Mama Joyce started up some mess at the BravoCon, talking about like she would want her daughter to have any man who has a decent job. So she basically trying to say that Todd doesn't work or he doesn't have a real job, which makes no sense. He has restaurants. He was a director, basically a producer, producing, directing before, and he's doing projects now. So if he's not making money, why would your daughter be with him? That makes no sense. So Mama Joyce, that Candy was just saying that she just didn't understand why her mom was doing that, and she just wished her mom would just stop. Like, she needs to respect her marriage, and she doesn't care whether her mom likes him or not. But like, she was just real irritated when Moyetta and Don Juan told her that she needs to talk to her mom and let her know like how she feels about what she's doing. And they showed a clip of Todd talking to Candy about stuff, and then he basically said he found out from his daughter, and it's just not, like, he's just tired of it, and it's not cool. And then he found it from his daughter, I think they said, Riley, and then she heard it too, and they both just not cool with it, because at this point it's like, how many more times is she gonna keep making it clear that she doesn't like him? It doesn't matter whether you like him or not. Your daughter's had 2 children with this man, and she's married to him. So whether you like him or not, it does not matter. Mama Joyce really needs to mind her business and get a life. It's like, how many more times are you going to make it clear that you don't like Todd? We get the point. We've heard this how many times and how many years that you don't like him. No, I'm bad. See, cares. It's just irrelevant. Nobody gives a damn. Like, you don't like him, and why do you think people give a damn? And you know how many people don't like you because of your mouth? But do anybody say anything, how they feel about that? No. So, like, I'm going to really need you to really, like, stop it, man. Because you're doing a little too much for me. It's like, just leave. Anytime people ask you, just ignore the question or just say something nice. If you have nothing nice to say, just say, at this time I really don't want to discuss that. You know how I feel about it. I've already said it several times. Let's not talk about it and keep it pushing. And next scene, Drew is at her house with her husband, and they're having Courtney, her husband's cousin, come over. Ralph's cousin come over. So Ralph is talking a lot to her after he found out after the party that they're actually family. So she gets like a video call from Candace, from Potomac, and she basically asked her if she can replace her for Shamari because Shamari can't come for her to sing at her event. So, Drew was like, oh, snap. And Ralph was like, do it. And she's like, yes, I want to do that because, she wants anything that she could do to get herself seen since she just came out with a single and she wants to be seen and do her music. So Courtney arrives. They open the door, and Courtney is married to Bryce, and he was part of Groove Theory. And he did some acting, and Drew has worked with him before, she said too. So Courtney also has a 24-year-old daughter. So that was pretty interesting. And I said, okay, interesting. And basically Courtney is talking, then Drew decides, oh, I'm gonna call Candy because I want to ask her about coming to Candace's event and for her to come and be there. And I'm just like, why would you call Candy and then be having Courtney there? Candy does not like this girl. I don't know. Drew was definitely being messy when she did that. Like, come on now. So she calls Candy with Courtney there, and then Candy's like surprised, like, I don't like her. Why are you calling me and then having me speak to her? I don't like her. So she waves at her, and then Candy's just looking all uncomfortable. And then Candy's like, why are you calling me with Courtney there? You know what happened, so why are you doing it? And then she was like, oh, I don't want to be in the middle of nothing. And then she's like, Candy, can you come to the performance, please? And she's like, okay, I already know I'm going to come. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. And then Courtney says she has no problem with Candy after that event. She was all good. And my whole thing is, just because you're good doesn't matter whether you're good. You started a whole bunch of stuff. And then Candy heard about what you said about her behind her back to Sonya. So, my girl, like, let's be real. I wouldn't talk to you or be cool with you either, because you're two-faced and you're fake. You have no problem with her. So why are you going around talking about, oh, I heard that, and talking about what you heard? Like, it don't matter. So it's like, girl, bye. I don't like Courtney. Like, she's mad extra. So next scene, basically, this is at the same scene because Sonya is Drew is telling Sonya that, sorry, people. I wrote something in the notebook and I'm like, nah. What happened was, Drew was talking about Sonya, basically, and talking about how she changes everything up every time people come around, and how she actually unfollowed her on Instagram. She thought that they were good. She don't understand. But from what I saw, you were talking about her at BravoCon. So that's the reason why she's not talking to you. So why are you trying to act like you don't know what you said? Not understanding that. So next scene, Marlo is driving her nephews around, and then she was talking about how, that she wants them to do good, and they about their grades, and they're like, oh, can I get these $1,000 shoes? She said, you gotta get all these. Well, I got some A's and B's. She said, well, you better fix up them grades and get them to all A's, and maybe you can get them shoes. And I'm like, why would you be getting a kid his age $1,000 shoes? I know he's getting A's, but come on now, that's ridiculous. Yeah, you're not no type of good parent for that. That's ridiculous. And she was asking him how he felt about how she's being, since she's having her coach and stuff, and how does he like the coaching? He's like, yeah, I like the coaching. How she doing? They say, you're making an effort, you're trying. So they've seen that she's making an effort to make a change and be better, so they're happy about that. So that's good. So that's good. And then next part, Drew and Candace. Drew shows up to the set to watch her perform. And, they're doing, the check to see how everything sounds and sound check and things like that. So Drew is there and Monyetta's there. And Drew's like, you sound great, girl. And then Drew will perform after her. So, they show to the vent. And Candy, Monyetta, Kenya, they sit at a certain table towards the back. And then Marlo is talking about Candy is still mad in the confessional. And she's like, it takes her time to forgive. But, if I was a man, she'd forgive me faster. And if I was chicken, I'd get forgiven even faster. I'm like, see, being messy like usual. She can't just be normal. A mess. And then Sheree wasn't feeling well, so she did not come to the event because she was under the weather. She wished that she could come, but she wasn't feeling too good. So Candace is up there in like a little cute leotard thing, and she's dancing around, and her hair was all cute, and she sounded really good. I said, okay, girl. She sounded good. She looked good. She was dancing and everything. They were like, look at her trying to be Beyonce. She kind of did look like her a little bit. Look at Candace from Potomac. She looked cute. Then the whole little leather black thing she was wearing, I was cute. And then Sonya, she basically came up there and she performed. And she really performed for like a couple of seconds. It was done. I was just like, that's all she did? Oh my God. And then Sonya was trying to be smart, talking about She did talk. She said, girl, I counted a couple of seconds and she was off that stage so quick. And they like, I hope that's not all she doing. And then Sonya like, that's all she did. She barely sang anything. And then it was funny. After her performance, Candace got back on stage and then she was still performing, and then Drew got flowers from Ralph, and Drew said, Candy's not gonna be the only one with the Grammy. And I'm just like, Drew, I'm gonna need you to get on top of your marketing and get your stuff seen before you can talk about you're gonna get a Grammy, because your music actually has to be heard and people actually have to like your music, and it has to be nominated in order to get a Grammy, and it has to be good. So I hope you're a songwriter, and I hope your music gets a little bit better, because I'm sorry, like, she has a nice voice and her music sounds cute and everything, but her songs, the song that she sang, or the song that I've heard that she sang last episode, is very cliche sounding, like sounds like everything you've heard before. So I'm gonna need her to go do something else. I'm just saying. And then next scene, Kenya asks why, like, they all come to the room, all the girls, and gather into another room after the performance, and they sit in there, and everybody's sitting down, and Kenya asks Drew, like, why was her set so small? Like, she wasn't getting, everybody kept saying the same thing, like, why is your set so small? Like, why you didn't sing longer? And then Drew's like, it's not my event, that's why, and Candace allowed me to sing for a little while, but it's her performance, so I can't over-sing her and do more than her because it's her event. So then Sonya asks Drew, like, let's get it popping. Like, what happened at BravoCon? She said, like, don't flip-flop, don't act one way and then do another, And she's just like, okay, I get you. And then they basically just squashed the beef. And they were like, squash the beef, being mad extra. Drew said that she basically her giving her olive branch and for her to come to the event, and that she came, so everything is squashing there, all good again. So everybody's doing all good and they fine. And here we come. And then Candy asked about Sonya, basically asking about what Sonya told her that Courtney has said. Courtney's saying that she went to that restaurant and basically showed that she was at that Tropicana restaurant, and then she made her people that came after seeing that made it ghetto. So, she felt the way, and then Kenya and, Monietta said you made it sound kind of bad, like being ghetto was a problem. And then Courtney's like, I have family that ghetto. I don't have a problem with it. So if you don't have a problem with it, then why did you make it seem like it was so bad because, she made it ghetto? Like, what does being ghetto mean? Like that doesn't make sense. And then Kenny said Kenny was saying that even if she made it ghetto, like you said, doesn't matter. This person should be happy that I brought customers to her establishment. And like you saying it's ghetto, it's like you have a problem with people that are ghetto or people that are hood, and you just say you have people that are hood, so why did you even say it in that context and say it like that? Like Courtney said, you're so pressed, you're so you're so triggered, Nah, she's not so triggered. You tried it because you saying it one way to Sonya, and then when it's brought up first, because she kind of said at first that she didn't say it like that, but then in turn said she did say it. So my whole thing is, my girl, stand on what you say. You said it. Why are you trying to act like you didn't say it, but then next minute say you did say it? Like, I can't stand when people do that. You said something, you get called on it, then you say you didn't say it in that context, but then you repeat it exactly how it's being said. So, like, you did say it, so, like, just say how you said it and stop trying to change it up, try to make it sound better. And like Kenny said, basically, like Kenny said, you bring the hood out. The hood people didn't like what you said, is what Kenny said. And she said, basically, like, I bring people out. I know people, and I bring lots of people to people's restaurants. I bring people out. Like, what are you talking about? So then Marietta was talking, and she was talking about that she had an issue with Marlo because Marlo was trying to be smart with her in Jamaica, making it a big deal. Their thing, I glossed over it because it was, like, really minuscule and small. And she basically was trying to say that Marla was trying to play her. And Monyetta's like, don't do that. Don't try to come for me. And she's like, oh, I didn't try to come for you. And then they basically Drew asked from Kenny about the incident at the restaurant. And then Kenny was like, yeah, I'm not finna talk about that. And Marlo got all mad because she's like, Kenny doesn't want to talk about stuff because she don't want to talk about. My whole thing is, Marlo, she don't have to talk about what you want her to talk about. First of all, if there's an incident that happens, something that just happened, and they mention it and it's an investigation, they're investigating it still, why would she discuss it? Like, and she doesn't have to discuss what you tell her to discuss. So my whole thing is, yeah, you need to chill out. Like, and furthermore, it's like, girl, who cares what you think? Walk out. Nobody gives a damn. You're not a non-motherfucking factor. You're not the only person on the show, and the show would be fine without you being on it. So it's like, girl, please. Like, nobody cares about you walking out and getting mad. She don't have to listen to nothing you say, and she don't have to talk about what you say to talk about, period. And then, like Kenny said, let's talk about your mugshot. Let's talk about your past history. Let's talk about that, since you want to be in my business, try to bring up stuff about what's going on. Let's talk about that. Oh, yeah, I always want, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's before. But let's be real. It was before, and it's no longer pending, so you can talk about it, because that your mugshots are something that happened in the past, so you can bring that up. If something is a current issue and it's being investigated, you can't talk about it on TV or bring it up. So that's the point. Like, get over it. Like, she don't have to talk about what you say to talk about. You're a nobody. You're nobody's that someone needs to answer to, Marlo. Like, so shut your mouth and mind your good business. Like, I don't like her. She thinks everything revolves around her. Nobody cares. So after that, everybody dispersed and they walking away. And then 30 minutes later, Drew and Marlo are arguing why she said shooting, and how come Drew didn't want to say the word shooting, and how, it triggers her, and how Marlo said that she's saying that she lost someone, and Drew saying that she's from Chicago and she's lost people as well, and that she doesn't like saying it out loud, and she can't say shooting. And Quentin, like, her nephew got killed by the roommate, and that Marlo was mad, and she said her blood nephew was dead, and she started screaming at Drew when she walked out all upset. And it's just like, what did Drew say? Because Drew didn't do nothing to you. Why are you taking your anger out on her? Made no sense at all. Yeah, Marlo makes no sense. Drew, I don't understand why they were sitting here arguing about a shooting and about whether Kenny wants to tell them information or not. And what was the point of them arguing? Like, it was really stupid. It made no sense. So, like, comment, subscribe, and talk to me, because this episode was kind of like dry and boring. It's just like, repeat, same information over and over again. So, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of the episode. Talk to you later, YouTube.